welcome back to my channel. Today I have another makeup tutorial for you because I recently got the Urban Decay Naked Cherry palette. I am obsessed with it. Like, it's so pretty. Oh, that's me. All of the shades are gorgeous and it's all I've been using, so I thought I might as well film a fun little tutorial with one of my favorite looks to do with it so far. I don't have much else to say, so let's just get right on into the video.
Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is use the Urban Decay eye primer in the original formula to prime my eyes to get ready for the shadows. To start off this eyeshadow look, we're going in with the Urban Decay Naked Cherry palette in the shade Juicy, and we're going to use the brush that came with the palette. It's just a fluffy brush. We're going to take that and blend Juicy right into the crease, making sure to use those windshield wiper motions and circles just to blend it out nicely into the crease. This is going to serve as a great transition color for us. Now we're going to go in with the shade Bing using a Morphe fluffy brush and put this more centered into the crease just to deepen it up and add a little more dimension. And we're going to use those same tiny circles and windshield wipers. You know the drill by now. Next, I'm taking my Too Faced Born This Way concealer, and I'm going to take this, I think it's a packing brush, but I'm going to use it for concealer. I'm just going to get a little bit onto that brush, not too much, because we can always add more, and I'm going to use this to cut my crease. So starting in the inner corner and going along the lash line, because that's the easy part, and then I'm going to work upwards and really define out the crease. And this part's kind of hard to get them perfectly even. It's a lot of back and forth. Don't worry if they're not perfectly even, because we're going to take another shade later on and just blend that up a little bit so it's a little less noticeable. Okay, now we're going in with the shade Privacy, which is the dark brown color, and I'm going to use a really tiny smudging brush from Morphe and take that and define that line that we just made with the concealer using very light strokes, not too hard, and blending that a little bit into my outer corner, into the other two shadows. Now I'm taking a slightly bigger Morphe tapered brush and blending out the color we just put down. And I'm making it sound like this was planned, but no, this brush just is kind of better. So if you want to just start with this brush, probably go ahead, because that's what I did on the other eye and it worked out. So just start with this brush, all right? It's a better idea. But we're just gonna blend out the brown shade we just put down. This is gonna make the crease really dimensional, which is perfect for this cut crease shimmery look we're going for. And now I'm taking the shade Bing back on that fluffy morphing brush and buffing out the brown we just put down so that it's not so harsh and it creates the seamless blend that we all know and love. Now I'm going in with the shade Bang Bang, which is the light sparkly pink, using the same brush I used to put the concealer on, but don't worry about it, I cleaned it with a paper towel. I'm just gonna tap that onto the brush and then just tap that straight onto the eye in everywhere that the concealer is. So be a little bit careful along where we put the brown because we don't want it to blend too much because we still want that defined line to be there, but it doesn't have to be a sharp line, just some definition. We like definition. Now, this pink is very subtle on my concealer shade because I am Hispanic, so my concealer shade's a little darker than others may be. So to counter this, I'm just using like a shit ton of it. All right, now I'm using the Tartist double-ended liquid eyeliner pen, and we're gonna make a wing. And I know that this is a struggle, but it's gonna look great. So the first thing I like to do is just tap it along my lash line, not really even drawing it, just creating a base for where the line's going to go, and then starting from one corner and just drawing over the marks that we made. Now I'm gonna turn the brush the other way and start to wing out the liner. I like to start from the tip and go back in because I find I get a much sharper point if I do it that way versus just drawing the line out. Then I'm gonna connect that back into the line we made on the lid. And then I'm gonna do the exact same thing on the other side. But if your eyeliner is not perfectly even at first, that's okay. I still do the thing where I like have to wipe it off and even them out. No shame, all right? No shame in being kind of shitty at eyeliner. Next, we're going to take our trusty eyelash curler and curl those lashes. Now using my Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara that I'm running out of and I need to start a new tube soon, I'm going to put on a preliminary coat of eyeshadow and then do the other coat much later because I do makeup weird. Alright, I'm gonna go do my base off camera and I'll be right back. Hello, I have returned with mildly okay skin now, all contoured and everything. So going back into the Naked palette, I want to use a couple more shades on this look than I usually do, just to give a full range of what the palette can do. So taking the smaller end of the brush that came in this palette, we're taking the shade Devilish, which is a deep red kind of color, and we're going to brush this right along the lash line, making sure not to go too far down because I'm going to blend this out with a lighter color. Now going back in with that fluffy Morphe brush, we're going to use the shade Bing once again to blend out Devilish. Now using the brush that came in the palette again on the fluffier side, we're going to blend out the bottom of Bing with Juicy. And this should create a nice seamless transition from Devilish to Bing to Juicy to Skin. Now I'm taking this really shitty drugstore big black eyeliner pencil and a fluffy brush to hold down our eye so we can put this right in the waterline. Now, you are probably going to want to use more of like a soft black pencil. I'm using a really shitty one from the drugstore because it's all I have right now. Now using the other end of the brush that came in the palette that still has Devilish on it, we are just going to buff out any harsh lines that the eyeliner created. Now it's time for that second coat of eyeshadow that happens so much later, and I'm just going to coat my lashes and make sure that they are large and full and beautiful. And once again, I don't feel like putting on false lashes, so we're going to substitute that with just a fuck ton of mascara. And I'm also going to put it on my lower lashes and then take a spoolie to just separate those out because they're a little thicker than I would like them to be, and we don't like spider legs coming out of our eyes. Next up, I'm taking the Tartist Pro Glow palette, which I also use to contour, and I am taking the shade Stunner. It's like a nice, gorgeous gold highlight that I'm obsessed with right now, and a tiny little packing brush, and we're going to use this to highlight underneath the brow bone. And so we're going to put that right up against the brow. I like to carve out my brows using concealer, so I have really sharp edges, which makes it easy to put this brow highlight right along that edge and really define it. If you don't carve your brows out, that's totally fine, and this can just be swept lightly right along for a more natural glow. And now just for a bit of extra fun, I'm going in with the shade Turn On, and we're going to use this to highlight the inner corner of the eye. I'm using the same brush we used the brow highlight on, and just dipping in to Turn On and putting that right in the inner corner to brighten that up. Also because I just want to use more shades from the palette to give a really good impression of what all the shades are really like. Right, so I'm going to do this part a little differently than normal because I have a setting spray bottle that is broken and it's kind of just squirting spray out in a straight line. So I'm going to spray that directly on a big fluffy brush and tap it off so that it's dry just a little bit, but not completely dry. And we're going to use this to put on the setting spray. So I'm just going to pat this all over my face, onto my forehead, onto the eyes very, very lightly, just to set everything in place because I need to fix my bottle. But I don't know how, so this is how I'm doing it for now. And then I'm taking a fan brush from Morphe and I'm using the same method where I spray it and then tap all of the excess off, because there is a lot of excess, as you can see by my vigorous shaking. We're gonna go back into the Tartist Pro Glow palette into the shade Stunner once again and highlight the face, especially those cheekbones, which we love to have absolutely blinding. And I love that highlight shows up on this camera. I'm gonna say it in every video because it's very exciting. So I'm just using very light back and forth strokes on the cheekbones. I'm also gonna put this on my Cupid's bow, my chin, and my forehead. Now I'm going to take that little brush we used for the brow bone highlight and I'm going to highlight my nose with it. I like to do the old exclamation point nose, so I put a little bit on the very tip of my nose and then a little bit right on the bridge, so it creates sort of an exclamation mark shape. And I find that that just really creates a really cute little button nose effect. And then I'm just going to highlight the rest of my face, like I said. For lips today, I'm going to be using Bite Beauty Cosmetics in the shade Glass. I'm pretty sure this was a birthday gift from Sephora, but it's sort of just a matte pink that I really like using as just a subtle pop of pink into a look. And since this look is already very pink, I thought this would be a great color to tie it all together. And once again, I'm very bad at lipsticks, and now you're seeing that I'm still bad with a lip crayon, so enjoy my struggle. And that's it. Here's the finished look.
And this is the finished look. If you want to recreate it, then do it and tag me and send me all of the photos, because that would be neat as heck. I really hope you guys like this tutorial. If you did, please be sure to give it a big thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel, because I do tutorials and music and maybe some true crime shit. I don't know. It's a new channel. We're taking things one step at a time. Leave me some comments down below, leaving me some suggestions for songs to cover, or looks you'd like to see, or palettes I should review, or other kinds of videos you'd like to see me do. That rhymed. Also be sure to follow me on all of my social medias. I will leave the links in the description. On Instagram, I am at warped.laur. On Twitter, I am at warped_laur. I don't use Twitter that much. I pretty much only reply to tweets from band members, but if that's something you're down for, give me a follow. Oh, I use Tumblr sometimes. My Tumblr is cryingwithkittens. Because I'm an edgy boy, TM. Also, I want to give a big shout out to Instagram user This Person for naming this look that I created. Be sure to give them a follow, and yeah, be sure to go show them some love for naming my look. I appreciate your support. Other than that, I think I'm gonna go, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.